In the heart of a bustling city, one nurse's peaceful evening turned into a nightmare when a group of bikers vandalized her small car. Feeling helpless, she turned to her brother, a seasoned military veteran whose skills were about to be put to an unexpected test. As tensions escalated, the air crackled with uncertainty, and the nurse's determination to seek justice resonated with every heartbeat. With steely resolve, her brother stepped in, bringing a presence that shifted the power dynamics. The bikers, initially cocksure, now faced a force they hadn't anticipated. This clash of values, justice versus recklessness, unfolded in real time, leaving bystanders holding their breath. As the confrontation reached its peak, who would emerge victorious? And how would this unexpected twist redefine the meaning of strength in a modern world? The answer lay in the hands of those willing to stand up against injustice, no matter the odds. The nurse Emily was no stranger to hard days. Balancing long shifts at the hospital and caring for her aging parents, her little car was her lifeline, a reminder of her independence and the countless lives she touched every day. But now, as she stood in the parking lot, her chest tightened at the sight of the damage. Scratched paint, smashed mirrors, and deep dents, all at the hands of a group of bikers who seemed to enjoy watching her struggle. Her brother, Mark, had just returned from overseas, a man of discipline and calm strength. When Emily called him, her voice shaking, Mark listened carefully, his tone steady as he reassured her. But beneath his calm demeanor was a simmering resolve. Mark believed in fairness and protecting those who couldn't fight for themselves, but the bikers had crossed a line. As he pieced together the situation, he knew this was more than a random act. It was personal. The nurse Emily was no stranger to hard days. Balancing long shifts at the hospital and caring for her aging parents, her little car was her lifeline, a reminder of her independence and the countless lives she touched every day. But now, as she stood in the parking lot, her chest tightened at the sight of the damage. Scratched paint, smashed mirrors, and deep dents, all at the hands of a group of bikers who seemed to enjoy watching her struggle. Her brother, Mark, had just returned from overseas, a man of discipline and calm strength. When Emily called him, her voice shaking, Mark listened carefully, his tone steady as he reassured her. But beneath his calm demeanor was a simmering resolve. Mark believed in fairness and protecting those who couldn't fight for themselves, but the bikers had crossed a line. As he pieced together the situation, he knew this was more than a random act. It was personal. Mark drove to the scene, his mind racing as he tried to make sense of what had happened. Emily, still shaken, stood by her battered car, her hands trembling as she explained how the bikers had cornered her earlier that day. They had been aggressive, revving their engines and laughing as they blocked her way out of the lot. When she humped in desperation, things escalated. They mocked her, and when she tried to reason with them, they lashed out at her car instead. Mark knelt beside the car, inspecting the damage. It wasn't just vandalism, it was intimidation. He glanced around, noticing a few bystanders who had seen the confrontation but had been too afraid to intervene. One man, reluctant at first, approached and admitted he had seen the bikers frequenting a nearby garage. The bikers exchanged uneasy glances, their bravado fading as the strange feeling of being watched grew stronger. One of them, the leader, barked out a laugh, trying to shake off the tension. "Just the wind," he muttered, but his voice lacked conviction. The sound of something metallic dropping nearby made them freeze. They scanned the shadows, but Mark stayed out of sight, using the cover of darkness and his military training to his advantage. Just as Mark prepared to step forward, a second vehicle pulled into the lot, a sleek black car with tinted windows. The bikers straightened up, clearly surprised. Mark watched from the shadows as a man stepped out, his polished demeanor contrasting with their rough appearance. The bikers greeted him with nervous respect, and their chatter hinted at something deeper, a deal or arrangement that kept them untouchable. Mark realized this wasn't just about Emily's car. These bikers were part of something bigger, and this new figure was the key. Whatever they were involved in, Mark now had more to unravel. The stakes had just skyrocketed, but Mark wasn't backing down. Mark remained hidden, piecing together the dynamic between the bikers and the mysterious man. The conversation confirmed his suspicions. This wasn't random. The bikers were part of a larger operation, and Emily had unwittingly crossed paths with them. Mark's military instincts kicked in. He wasn't just dealing with a group of troublemakers. He was dealing with a network that thrived on intimidation and control. As the bikers loaded items into the man's car, Mark saw his opportunity. Using a discarded piece of metal, he created a loud clatter, drawing their attention away. The distraction worked, and in the confusion, Mark stepped out of the shadows, his voice calm but commanding. Enough, he said, his presence freezing them in place. The bikers started toward him, but Mark's calculated moves and unshakable confidence left them scrambling. Just when it seemed the situation was under control, the mysterious man revealed his own twist. He wasn't just overseeing the bikers. He was a former officer who recognized Mark instantly. For a moment, it was a silent standoff. Two men with military training and a shared past, now on opposing sides. But Mark's moral compass held firm. With the authorities already alerted, Mark's plan had one final move. Sirens echoed in the distance, and the bikers panicked, leaving the man to face his reckoning alone. Emily's car would be repaired, but more importantly, she and Mark had uncovered something far bigger than they'd expected. Justice wasn't always simple, but this time it was served. As the police arrived, the bikers scattered, but the mysterious man wasn't so lucky. Mark handed over the evidence he'd gathered, ensuring the operation they were running wouldn't continue unchecked. The officers thanked him, impressed by his calm precision and the way he had turned the situation around without escalating the danger. Emily watched from a distance, a mix of relief and gratitude washing over her. She knew she couldn't have faced this alone, and seeing her brother step in with such strength reminded her of the bond they shared. In the days that followed, her car was repaired, but more importantly, her sense of safety was restored. Mark's actions had not only protected her, but had also exposed a hidden threat in their community. As they shared a quiet moment over coffee, Emily smiled. "You always know what to do." Mark shrugged, a rare grin breaking through. "Family first."